Welcome to another Community Conversations. I'm your host, Ian Parkinson. I'm here today with Sandeep Pareek from the City Utilities and Planning Department. He's the manager for engineering.
That's right.
And John Ashton, newly recruited employee for the City of Medicine Hat, who's a planning engineer. Welcome, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
So the Division Avenue upgrades, this is a huge project. How many blocks?
About 10 blocks of Division Avenue is going to be
blocks.
rehabilitation. Yeah.
Wow. So what brought you to this point? We were talking earlier, you mentioned that this had come across your desk in 2022.
Yes. In fact, it was even before that. So we were planning for road rehab projects in the city in 2017, and we had a list of 7 road sections, and Division Avenue was one of them on that list. So we had to defer this project for some time just because we wanted to, address other top priorities that we have. And then the second reason was we wanted all the deep utility or majority of the deep utility work to be completed before we go ahead and do the surface rehabilitation.
Right. So then we also talked about this earlier. There's actually a coordination or a technical coordinating committee at City Hall where every department brings, I use the term wish list.
Right.
And then they coordinate it from there.
That's right. So just to kind of give you a little bit of background on that, so we have this planning department that does this coordination, and the committee is called Technical Coordination Committee. So any project in the city, any department who's planning a project sends their project to planning department through the Technical Coordination Committee and provides their brief scope of what they're intending to do. And then all the departments looks at the scope, the limit, and the extent of that project. And if there are other departments who are interested to kind of, join that project to upgrade their infrastructure, then it's all planned together and then it's kind of executed as one project. So in case of Division Avenue, again, we went through the same process. It was sent to the Technical Coordination Committee, and there were other departments, for example, Environment Utilities had some minor upgrades that they wanted to do on a couple of intersections. So that was kind of going to be part of this project. Gas Department had a line that they wanted to, kind of abandon and sort of do some other connections. And that also is going to be part of this project. So I think the city benefits a lot when we do that kind of coordination, and the project synergies are huge sometimes.
Well, it's a cost saving. Obviously, you only dig up the road once.
That is the major objective, to reduce cost, and then of course the inconvenience of construction going back to the same area multiple times is what we want to avoid, and that's one of the main objective of that coordination committee.
As a ratepayer of Medicine Hat, thank you. So John, what's your role in Division Avenue?
So I'm going to be the project manager as the project moves forward into construction.
So you'll oversee a lot of contractors.
Yeah, so dealing with the consulting engineering firm and the contractor, and then coordination with the city departments that are involved.
Okay, now this project is 10 blocks. I'm guessing you're going to do this in chunks.
Yeah, so right now the way the project's set up, it's divided into 10 phases with varying work in each phase. So once we have our methodology in place from the contractor and how they're going to approach the project, we'll be setting up staged traffic plans to accommodate the construction.
Right, so I imagine this is where you also involve emergency services, city transit.
Definitely. Yeah, city transit is a major stakeholder is going to be affected by the project and a major consideration when we're doing our traffic plans.
Okay, now I've seen a sign at the bottom of Alta Warner Drive that it's also going to be worked on about the same time-ish?
The construction will overlap, yes.
Okay. So then, it's less disturbance. It's already done at the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Local community, people who live along Division Avenue, how can they find out how, when, and where it's going to affect them?
For sure. No, right now the city has a couple signs placed on Division Avenue with some brief information on the project, and it does have a QR code on the bottom that will take them to the city website for Division Avenue, which will give you a background of the project, why we're doing it, and a video showing what to expect when it's completed.
Actually, I've watched that video a couple of times. It's actually very well done. It certainly gave me a better picture of the end result, and it's actually quite a beautiful project. This is something I don't recall seeing one of these before. Is this something new?
It is. It will be new for Medicine Hat. Yeah, just the layout and the concept of the complete streets theme for a project.
Yeah, I would like to touch upon that a little
Sure.
bit. So basically, when we were planning to rehab this road, the main idea was to kind of redesign the road based on complete streets principle. So basically what it means is accommodating all modes of transportation. And so we're going to add, active transportation infrastructure, basically a 3-meter wide trail all along the corridor, starting from 3rd Street, going all the way to the top of the hill, and then that trail will connect to the existing trail that is on the Cemetery Hill, and then it'll go down the hill, and then it'll have a new piece of multi-use trail that will kind of go across or in front of the skate park, and then join the trail system that is at the King Coulee entrance by the College Avenue intersection. So now you can actually have a full multi-use trail all the way from King Coulee going up the hill and then along Division Avenue to 3rd Street. So that is a major transportation infrastructure that will support, active transportation for all ages and all abilities. It'll be safe for people who want to ride bicycle, skateboard, whatever. They'll have their own separate, infrastructure for that.
Okay, now you call this the complete streets?
Yes. So complete streets is basically a terminology that's used for changing the road cross section
Right.
to accommodate for all modes of transportation, not just the vehicular traffic, but also walking, biking, skateboarding, all modes of transportation included in the same corridor. So basically that's the principle that we are using to upgrade this particular corridor.
It looks like it's going to be beautiful. It really does.
Definitely, we'll try to improve the user's experience by improving, of course, the pedestrian and cycling connectivity. Also trying to improve the landscaping so it feels nicer and more welcoming to the users, and supporting safer crossings at various locations, and supporting what you can call the industry best practice nowadays is to kind of have those continuous sidewalk.
Yes.
So that is one more, a unique feature of this project is that we'll have this trail crossing intersections as continuous sidewalks. So basically you'll have, more right of way for the trail users compared to the vehicular traffic, and supporting that active transportation mode.
Excellent. John, are you expecting any surprises? It's not quite as old as 1st and 2nd Street, but
Not quite as old, but anytime you dig in a ground in a city as old as Medicine Hat, you've got to be prepared for the unexpected.
which is why you probably use the same contractors, because they probably have a good idea what's coming.
A lot of the local contractors have a very good idea of what to expect, especially in different areas of the city, and we have just awarded the project to a local contractor, LMT Enterprises.
If somebody has a question or a concern, where can they find the website?
Well, the city's main website, this is medicinenet.ca, has this particular project displayed at the very first page of that. So it has a dedicated website for this project, and it has contact information in there. So if you access that page through the city's website, you can contact and somebody like the project manager or the consultant would be able to respond to any queries that they might have.
Okay, I talked with Corey and Cody about the 3rd Street updates, they also had an email list. But this is 10 blocks, not one. So that might be a little overwhelming.
Well, we have created a stakeholder list for the main businesses that are along the corridor, and we have consulted with them during the design process so that we kind of cater to any of their needs. So we do have an stakeholder engagement list that we have, and when we have any major, information to share or upgrades or changes to what we have been planning, we can always communicate with those stakeholders through that list of, stakeholders that we have.
Be aware we might turn the water off tomorrow.
Well, no, and during construction, local residents and businesses will be notified directly by the contractor.
Yeah.
So typically it's about 7 days before they start the whole project. Everyone will get a notice saying, we're going to be working in your area. And then there'll be more specific notices saying, in the next 3 days, you'll be losing access, or your water will be shut down, or you'll be switching to temporary water supply. So there is notification provided directly to those people on Division Avenue that are directly affected. Hopefully we can, and in those communications, there'll be contact information as well.
Yeah,
for those individuals.
You guys have had a lot of practice at doing this over the last few years, so it's nice to see the communication avenue build up rather than the backhoe just suddenly shows up and there's no water.
Yeah,
I'm impressed with your skill sets. I honestly am. These are large, multi-million-dollar projects that involve customer disturbance, noise, dust, loud trucks. And I know there were some issues occasionally with the first and second street projects, but I personally thought overall they went very well.
they did.
It's a testament to your skill and the ability of City Hall to actually make these things happen.
And not only that, to the people doing the work on the ground.
Do you get to bury a plate somewhere with your name on that John and Sandeep did this?
No.
No, not allowed?
No, we don't do that.
And we also explore other venues to communicate about city projects. There is a citywide, open houses that city has been conducted. They've done a couple of them, and this particular project was also part of the citywide open house in, I believe, it was in February.
About 6
municipal
weeks ago.
mingles. Yeah. And that's where we took the opportunity to kind of display this project, show the basic design layout, what it looked like, and also that video that we were talking about was also part of that open house. So we take those opportunities to kind of communicate with residents about the upcoming projects.
Yeah, the mingles for me are a very good idea because I got a lot more information about the Eastern Ring, which is, I realize, electrical distribution. But, the young man there had a bunch of samples of stuff of why they were doing what they were doing. It was actually interesting. And then I could have a coffee and a donut and just wander around and see who else or other city departments,
right,
what they're doing, and go, oh, okay, I'll keep that one in mind. One small comment on the video. The gas station has gas at $2.79 a litre. I went, does the city know something I don't?
That was, and probably it was US prices. So
probably, yeah.
So yeah, we did notice that, but
yeah, it's fun. It was just, at least if somebody complains, they watched it.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
All right, well, good luck, gentlemen.
Thank
you very much for coming in.
Oh.
If something changes, and feel free to come back and visit. We'll be more than happy to air any issues you have.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Again.
I'm Ian Parkinson. This is Community Conversations with John Ashton and Sandeep Pareek. Thank you for watching.